The first video on goal setting focused on the importance of writing down your goals and putting them up somewhere where you could see them on a daily basis. This allows your brain to work at a subliminal level, allowing you to manifest your goal. In the first video, I gave an example of a goal which I had set that was right out there in terms of being very ambitious. In this video, I want to discuss what can happen when you decide to set really big goals that are in competition with what is stored in your long-term memory. When I first set my goal and put it up in my office, as described in the previous video, I had all sorts of amazing things happen within a very short period of time. This was then followed by my inner critic going all out to derail my efforts of achieving that goal. It got so bad that not only was the road to achieving my goal blocked, but I was behaving in uncharacteristic and self-defeating ways. Basically, I went from being a very articulate person to one who carried on like a madwoman. I became totally unclear and confused in my business direction, and people would just stare at me wondering, what the hell is she going on about? My confidence took a nosedive, and I started saying things for the sake of saying them, and they were clearly stupid and misguided. It got so bad that finally I drew a line in the sand and said, "This is ridiculous. I am not listening to this rubbish anymore. This is not who I am, and it doesn't do justice to me or my talents." It was with this that I suddenly got clarity on my business goals. I also had a light bulb moment and knew that the onslaught of my inner critic was directly related to the goal that I had set. The interesting thing was, why this particular goal? I was used to setting big goals and achieving them. I like to set big goals because I like to challenge my brain to see what is possible. I believe that we are all truly unlimited, and I also believe that if I can do it, you can do it. But when I started to break down and analyse my successes, I noticed something very interesting. All my big successes had come when I worked in the corporate field, but they hadn't translated to my own business. So if I was capable of setting big goals in the corporate world and achieving them, why not in my own business? The answer lies in understanding that there must be some type of belief embedded in my long-term memory that was preventing me from achieving this goal, and hence the appearance of the very loud inner critic trying to derail me. When I analysed this further, I understood that this belief had been formed very early in my childhood. My father had had several attempts to start his own business, but never quite succeeded, and yet he was a brilliant man. He developed the first television set for AWA here in Australia. He was good at what he did, but he just couldn't make a success of his own business. My brother also tried and failed to have his own business as well. I realised that there was a very deep-seated belief pattern at work here, and I needed to break it. The breaking down of this belief pattern started when I drew a line in the sand and said, "Enough is enough, this is ridiculous." I then started listening to my own recordings that I made for the Brain Training Club. Up until this point, I had found it difficult to listen to my own work, but suddenly I was really enjoying it, and I could feel it helping me shift some beliefs about myself. With the combination of drawing a line in the sand and listening to my Brain Training Club's audio recordings, things started happening again. Within a week, a friend who I had made a guided visualization for her dad's health wrote this amazing testimonial on her Facebook page about how it had created a miracle recovery in her father. This drove people to my website and resulted in sales as well as a 20% increase in newsletter sign-ups. It has also led me to look at developing a new line of guided visualizations aimed at the physical and emotional health, something I had never considered before. From the time I drew the line in the sand to people being driven to my website was about 2 weeks. This is how quickly things can turn around when we get serious about not putting up with the garbage thinking anymore. Has my deep-seated belief been permanently changed? No, it hasn't. In order for that to occur, I need to keep on retraining my brain through my guided visualizations. I now take the time to find 10 minutes a day to retrain my brain. This to me is a small price to pay for success. The reason I am sharing this story is I want to encourage you not to keep yourself small, but dream big. There is a good chance that when you dream big, that your inner critic is going to come out and give you a hard time, and try and prevent you from achieving your goals. The most important thing to realise is that it is not personal or the real truth about you. It is a thought that you have taken on from somewhere in your past that has become embedded as a tight belief within your brain. Can it be changed? Absolutely. How freeing is it to know that it has nothing to do with your capability, but instead a thought that has entered your brain that needs to be changed? You have the power to change it. Firstly, you need to start setting big goals that are a real reflection of who you truly are. Secondly, you need to draw a line in the sand when the internal critic starts to raise its ugly head and recognise that it is not you, but just a thought that has turned into a strong belief. This is all the internal critic really is. Do not allow these thoughts and beliefs from stopping you from taking your rightful place in the world and living up to your true potential. Thirdly, you need to find a brain training system or something similar that shifts your limiting beliefs that were primarily set up during the first 12 years of your life. The Thinkology Brain Training Club is just one alternative. You may have access to others, but whatever you do, it is important to find a thinking system that prevents unconscious thoughts that are lodged in your long-term memory from stopping you from setting and achieving your goals. I would love you to share your big goals in the comments section of this post on my website, and then inspire yourself and others by coming back and sharing your progress with us all. Make a decision now not to wait any longer, to start living up to your true potential.